Welcome to a very special Taking It to the Nub episode. I'm your host, Boston Jimmie, and today we have got an amazing show. We're going to be recapping the Cigar Smoking World Championship U.S. Nationals, and we'll be talking to the founder of this and the U.S. champion. And I'm going to bring in these two folks, Marko Bilic and Ryan Janus, right now. Gentlemen, how are you? And welcome to the show.
Thank you, Jimmie, so much. It's great to be here. And it's great to see you first time in the live. Let's say some kind of the live. And of course, the Ryan, the US champion for 2021. Well, I can say my heart is big like a house, and also greetings to all United States smokers, and of course the smokers all over the world.
And Ryan,
Jimmie, I'm so happy to be here, man. I had such a great time with you in Pittsburgh, and I'm glad to be back with you. And Marko, it's a pleasure to meet you in person. I can't wait to be there with you and enjoy Croatia and all of the company and everything you guys have to offer. So thank you.
Guys, don't run. We will treat you very well. And we will give you Croatian experience. We will give you this slow smoking grand final experience. And what I need to tell you, you and your wife, from the moment you will touch Croatian ground, you will be taken care. Listen, I heard that you are coming with a wife. Congratulations for the marriage. Usually for the competitors who are coming without wives, we also find the Croatian wife for them. But in this case, of course, you are married. So forget about that.
No.
All right, so Marko, I want to start with you. I want to take this back a little bit. So this is this contest has been running for 10 years now, right?
11. Now is 11. We started
years.
first. Yes, 11 years.
So let's talk about how you came up with this idea and how'd you get it rolling and keep it going for 11 years?
So look, first of all, I'm living in part of Croatia, which is very near to Italy, and you know how Italian people can speak so much. So I've tried to be short, but this is the situation how it happened. So me and one of my best friends, we were smoking a few custom-made cigars from Nicaragua, and I get it for one of my friends who are he's a captain on the big ship in that part of the world. And that two cigars was so humid, and we was in the bar. It was more than midnight, and there is only me and him and the bartender, and we have a last matches. So that means that we need to keep that cigars on. We are almost out. That cigar is going all the time off and off. And I said, look, Nana, this is our last two matches. We need to keep this cigar on because the bartender don't have the lights. Is after the midnight, we don't have a place to buy the lighter. So we light with these two matches. We give a last fire to our cigars, and we practically start to be focused to keep these cigars on because they were really tasty. And on the end, we have a competition. Who will manage? And then on the end, I said, hey, man, even I lose. But I said, this is really great fun. We need to do that next time with the more friends. So next time with the more friends, we did it again, and it was really fun. And then I said, but it is a little bit simple. We need to add some rules. So I tried to find what is going on. Is there any kind of the competition like that in the world already exists? And I practically saw that there is only one competition, and this is long ash competition. And then I say, how I can combine maybe a little bit of the long ash in a slow smoking. So I said, okay, let's put this some kind of the additional rules which will make this slow smoking more challenging, more interesting, also for spectators. Even I didn't know that in this beginning we will have a really literally spectators for this slow smoking sport. But I need also to be honest, I a little bit shirk about the pipe smoking, because pipe slow smoking competition exists for many years, especially in Europe, more than 30 years. And I saw some of their rules, and I said, okay, I can implement some of these rules. I can bring some of my rules, and then I came with the rules that I practically was making a little bit sharper, like a diamond, after a few of the competitions with the friends. And we came to the point we said, okay, that's it. This is really perfect. All the rules are just perfect there. Not too much, not too too small amount of the rules. So just enough to make every competitor to be engaged and to have a fun.
Now, in the United States, this is really the first year where we had such a broad representation, if I understand correctly.
Yes,
So-
yeah. So practically we was doing with Macanudo. General Cigars was really amazing also partner. And we was usually doing in a few cities during the season because we wanted to have also United States on the global map. And especially because the Darren Chaffee, former world champion and the second on the list of the top 20 best of the smokers in the world, he was practically the best with the most famous also Russian guy. So it was almost like a Rocky movie, you know, like Ivan Drago and Sylvester Stallone, like who will take the world record, and then there was really like really having an amazing fight. It was so interesting to follow them because the Oleg is the name of the Russian guy. He was taking the Darren's record, and then Darren's was traveling on a summer qualification events, and he managed to take his record back, and he was doing back and forth, and people were so excited. So definitely United States was on the map, but never with engagement on this level.
Now, speaking of Rocky, so you did take it to a Rocky level because now we used this cigar, which is the Rocky Patel Mareva. And for those that don't know this cigar, independent of this contest, this is a fabulous cigar full of flavor. The burn is spectacular if you want it to be. Depends on how you run the contest for yourself. But here's how it went. So you got one of these cigars, and you got kind of a perfect cutter, but I'm going to use my beautiful knife cutter.
So you like it? You like it?
I love this. I love this prize. Thank you very much for that.
I was jealous because runner-up got those both times, and with my qualifier and then Pittsburgh, I'm just like, I was so happy with like how everything happened and stuff, but in the back of my head, I was like, oh, I need one of those cutters.
I'll trade you Croatia for the cut.
In Croatia, we have some stuff in Croatia, so this will be your motivated. Don't buy before. Don't buy before.
Okay.
I'm motivated.
Okay.
By the way, this orange one, the Thin Lamb, is really special because on the blade is engraved logo of the Cigar Smoking World Championship. So you can.
Right. It's beautiful cutter. Beautiful.
Yes, it's really nice and very unique, and I think it's a great memory for achieving a good position on the CSWC.
So now what happens is once you cut it, we had 1 minute to cut and prepare your cigar.
Yeah.
And that is practically gave the cigar back, got another cigar.
This is the 1 minute is practically why we give this minute, because we want that people have enough time to cut it.
Right.
Check the draw. And if the draw is not good, they have the time to replace cigar. And this is practically the last moment when they can complain about cigar, just about the draw. Yeah.
And then what happened is we each got 2 stick matches.
They were long matches.
And they were long. These are pretty long, about the same size. And you had to you had 1 minute to light the cigar. That 1 minute counts towards your total time. And I'll just show you something here, what I did. Hopefully the match don't go out on me.
I'm gonna be out with you, man.
So what I did.
Yeah, you light it up just a little.
Jimmie just kisses.
Yes, just the kisses, and he light up just a little corner of the foot of cigar, which is practically
really a little corner.
That's it.
Yeah. Yes, that's it. This is how the guys who are smoking for more than 3 hours, how they do it.
Then I drew very hard on it.
To give a fire, because it's also very risky. Very risky. If you don't do the proper job,
it works itself across. So talk to us about this particular cigar. Explain to everybody on the show what this cigar is, what the blend is.
And just to jump in real quick, just to talk, the construction on the cigar is phenomenal. I mean, when you look at the burn on this, it's just razor sharp, perfect ash, phenomenal cigar.
Yeah, thank you, Rand. Thank you, Champ, for the comment. This is important that people also have this feeling about cigar. But the blend, so the practically Rocky wants to provide a little bit more. Rocky is really having good taste, and he wants to provide something a little bit more complex. And so the filler is Nicaraguan, binder Honduran Nicaragua, and then what makes this cigar really, really looking like a special. And also providing this specific taste is San Andres Mexican wrapper, which I think is a good choice. Cigar is a little bit stronger than previous competition cigars, and people need to be ready for this, especially the guys who will do the tunneling, because we can speak a little bit about tunneling later. When you do the tunneling, when you reach the ring, we can explain later on to the people. You need to do the tunneling, and then you really literally making puffs so frequent that you need to have a good amount of the food or something in your stomach just to be able to handle that. So I love cigar. I love it, and I also love idea that me and Rocky make agreement to make it in two different vitolas, additional vitolas, which is Robusto and Toro, just to give to the people who want to enjoy the taste of the blend more options for regarding the sizes. But as you, Jimmy, said, I even think that Mareva size as a competition cigar in the same time is also the great cigar by taste, which was also by Cigar Journal was nominated that cigar among top 25 best cigars of the year in 2020. It took a 9th position.
And this now is a San Andreas wrapper.
Yep.
I think it's got Nicaraguan, Honduran
yes,
fillers in it. It's
yes.
got definitely some Lajero, as we mentioned. So it's a tricky cigar to keep lit. So you got to stay on top of it. When we were competing in Pittsburgh, Ryan and I, there were a number of folks that went out at the very beginning within 10 minutes because they were trying to keep it without puffing on it. But Ryan had a simple strategy. Explain your strategy that you went into, what you did. I did this, and what was your strategy?
I didn't have any gimmicks. I kind of just approached this where I knew that, getting it lit with 2 matches, there's room for error. If you make a mistake, you could really not get your cigar lit. And for the pace that I found the cigar to work first time around, I knew I had to stretch it and do a little better, but I really just wanted to make sure that that cigar made it to the end. And you kind of just have to listen to the cigar and go at the cigar's pace and see where you can stretch it and push a little bit. But a lot of people, like you said, they went out early. And I think in their head, like they had their best time at home practicing where they got 2 hours, 30 minutes. So they come there and they're going to do the 2 hour, 30-minute strategy. And that was a 2 hour, 10-minute cigar. And, there are tricks, there are ways you could do it, but just in terms, you got to kind of respond to what the cigar is telling you and find that pace that works for it. Because some cigars are going to just do a little better and some are going to do a little worse. And, I almost exchanged my cigar at the beginning because I found a soft spot and I'm like, you know what? It's not that bad. Now I think, okay, well, if I had exchanged it, Jimmie might be going to Croatia.
Could have. And you're a fierce competitor because my starting point, like I mentioned in the pre-show, about 40 minutes in, carrying the ash. So you got to carry the ash, everybody, for 40 minutes. If you drop the ash within the 40 minutes, there's various minute deductions depending upon how long you were able to keep it. So that's the first trick, carry the ash for 40 minutes, which makes it a little bit harder to actually see an ember or whatever. You might see a sliver. You see the smoke coming off. It doesn't necessarily mean that it's still burning. It could just be coming out of the chamber. And some people figured that out in 10 minutes and they're not even talking about it, right? Yeah. And then once you do that, then the rest is just kind of free flowing along the way to see how long you can run it. But you're a fierce competitor because my ash was small at 40 minutes. Everybody else, I looked around and I realized they were longer than mine. So I felt comfortable. And the sad part with my cigar is about halfway through, it got really tight. And the only thing I can attribute that to, because it wasn't tight on the drawer and the pre-light, is for those who talk a little bit about construction. When you light a cigar, if you keep your cigar, say, stored at 67%, so that cigar out of the box is at 67% humidity. So it's got a certain moisture content.
Yeah.
As soon as you ignite that cigar, the molecules and everything start activating, and that cigar, the moisture content goes up inside the chamber. I mean, if you stab this cigar with a moisture meter, you'll see how fast that moisture goes up. So what I believe happened in mine was that moisture content was picking up, and there might have been just that one leaf, and it could have been like that one little harrow leaf, which is thick, that kind of overlaid some and expanded. And I was like, and I fought my way through, and Ryan caught up, and we went right down to the wire, neck and neck. I mean, it was like looking at each other, and it was pretty amazing.
I might have been 1 or 2 millimeters above the band when Jimmie was at the band. It was so close. And it was just at that point where he's worrying about burning in the band. I'm worrying about burning the band.
Yeah,
and
but this is the beauty of this rule with the band, and this is the beauty of this, because this competition can be so excited. It can bring you adrenaline up so much. So that is what I love about this competition. It's not just people who don't ever experience, they think it sounds boring. It's not boring. It's really exciting.
It's exciting when it gets down to where we were, and we would have loved to have had so Nick Perretta, okay, who is the current US 2021 season record holder, got his flight his flight was canceled and wasn't able to join us. And I think it would have been a 3-way race down to the wire.
Yeah, I believe so.
I keep telling somebody there was so much luck involved where it could have gone either way. So many variables, and a lot of fortunate things just went my way, and I'm happy to be in the position I'm at. But yeah, when I heard Nick didn't come there, and then it's like, oh wow, it's just one of those things, like everything falls into place, and you just feel fortunate.
But this is absolutely. Ryan. This is Ryan holding his ash. I think you were right around the 40-minute mark or just after at this point.
Yeah, and I held it as long as possible. I think part of my strategy was like that ash was kind of acting like insulation in that heat chamber for me. And I just wanted to kind of let everything stay as happy and undisturbed as possible. And I think that ash ended up falling on my face. So I took it.
Which is look, in a one way, I will give you one look. I'm not the slow smoker. I'm not so good in this competition.
No, but you've seen the slow smokers before.
Yes, yeah, but this is the reason why I'm judged. But I saw so many of them. So I will tell you honestly, the keeping of the ash. When you keep the ash, you need to be careful. There is a few reasons. Definitely, the ash is keeping some kind of the balance. But in the end, in the last third, some smokers prefer to put the ash, because then they can on the better way they can control the fire. They are more they have the visible connection with the fire. They can control how much oxygen they are providing to the cigar, and they can, because of course when you don't have the physical barrier as ash, your burning spot is also having the easier practically the oxygen is coming easier to your burning spot from outside. So some people like to rid off of the ash, and some people like to keep it. Most of the big players who are smoking more than 3 hours, from my point, what I saw, they after some point of the game, they like to rid off so they can control this last third of the cigar food. So this is just one of the
things. That does make sense, because when it is just a matter of just keeping that stability, I see where the ash makes sense. And then as soon as you are attempting to control the burn to extend further than the band, I can see where you need as much clarity as possible on that. So
and Ryan, what you said before, I like it a lot. And I think you said one very important thing. You practically in this competition need to listen cigar and adjust your way of smoking to each stick, because also the very nice part of this competition is that each stick is, even they have selected people who are rolling these cigars on the top quality, but still each cigar is very individually. And the real success of the people who are making the trainings, who are doing the trainings, is to find the different skills that they can then implement on the different cigars and the different situations.
So see, look at that. I off-burned that from the very beginning.
Beautiful.
And this is what this cigar does. It wants to find itself.
Beautiful.
That's how well this is constructed. Now, one of the other things that I liked about this cigar from a competition perspective, because of the way I lit it, it's actually it still has a little more burn on one side. And I like getting it to be off burning. All right. I like to have it where it's not even. It actually burns down on one side more than the other. through a couple of stages, because then what you do is you just take it like this and you rotate it gently and you get that long side to start burning a little, and you can buy time just by
Definitely.
doing...
That is, you see, Jimmy, this is something that many of these really top smokers, they will strain a lot to find out that, and you are really quick, man. You are, and we were following you. You know, I was looking at you on the face. Said this guy will be something special, and you really manage in a short time to catch a lot of things. So I really have a feeling that you, Ryan, I am expecting a lot about you guys. You know, this is like, you know, the same like in a marriage. You know, when you're married, now you are married with me, and I am like a wife. I have expectations, so don't make me angry.
No, Jimmie definitely, he knew some tricks. And I remember when we were first getting started, I looked over and I was like, oh, he's going. Like, you know, like that was the kind of thing, like out of everyone I was watching what they were doing, I'm like, okay, Jimmie is the guy that's put the most thought into this and has a few strategies that nobody else had. And that's the thing. There's that luck of the draw that comes into it. There's so many factors, and there is a lot where it's like, yeah, you're going to have like great smokers. And then there's that next tier where, you see those 3 hour times and you're just like,
it's crazy, man. You cannot believe, like, this German guy, you know, Hauke Walter, is to watch him and smoke is just unbelievable. And one of the things that I want to say is really important in the slow smoking competition is how you are on that way on the competition, how you are in your mind. Look, some guys on the trainings, on qualification events, they're so good, but when they come on the grand finale or when they come on some competition, they're just or I don't know, is this excitement or I will not say
anxiousness?
Or something. And you can, like, for example, there is one guy, I really like him a lot, and I hope if he watches this now that he will not be angry on me. But this is also one of the best guys in the world, is called Tomasz from Poland. I think his record is 3 hours and 6 or 7 minutes or something like that, even a little bit more. That guy, he was the first guy in the history of CSWC who was making the 3 hours. In 2011, 12, 13, everybody was thinking that 2 hours is a magic line, that nobody will be able to manage 2 hours. No chance. And then Darren came, he made 1 hour 57, and then one Russian guy was not able to accept that the American guy is now, you know, better, and he was training like crazy, and he was making 2:22. And then Darren have this amazing spirit, competition spirit, and then it was, like I told you before, it was fighting for the best result. But this Tomasz, this guy, was the first breaking the 3 hours. So I was thinking, okay, this is the next champion. This guy is the next champion, and he was on the three or four grand finals. But on the grand final, he for him is much harder to do it, because this kind of the psychical strength, pressure. Yeah, thank you for the word. Is practically really not working on his side.
And the first 40 minutes is when I talk to the different competitors before and after the event. The first 40 is your most anxious time, because A, you don't want to drop the ash, and B, you don't want it to go out. And it's like I said, it's very hard to really ascertain the level of combustion that you actually have without being able to see the cherry at the end of the cigar. So there's a lot of anxiousness there. And then once you get past that, I tend to want to drop my ash right away after 40 minutes, because I want to exactly see where I'm at, where the burn is, and then maybe carry an ash again a little bit, but never that long. I'll always drop it after if you saw me, every half inch or so.
Because people wants to have, the competitors wants to have the clean approach for the oxygen to the fire spot. And also, like, this is the reason why we was having one very strange situation with one of the Russians, former world champions. He was a 2-time champion. He was in one grand final, was having a really dramatic situation. It was between the fighting between Swedish Tiger, the Igor Kovacic, who is the world record holder now, and between the Alexander Shagai, who was the Russian guy. And he was using the iPhone watch as a mirror.
Ah,
and he was practically trying to see how much fire he need to put. And this was the first thing what was happening. The judges was not able to be sure what to do to disqualify this person or not. And in this particular grand final, they allowed him to use the watch. And then later on, we said, okay, this is not fair. You know, this is the slow smoking. It's not using of devices or some additional help. But you know, people try different things, and we need as organization, we need to really keep them in the frames of the smoking.
No, and it's interesting. There's an aspect of it where, like when you were talking about the anxiety and everything,
Yeah.
you know, before I left for Pittsburgh for the grand finale for the US, you know, everyone's telling me, oh, I think you can win it. And I'm just like, I had no expectation to win. Like I knew like, okay, my time was 1:45 in my local, and there's a guy from Florida who was 2 hours and 20 minutes.
Yeah.
So it's like, I'm just like, you know, I'm going to go down, I'm going to have a good time. I didn't have that pressure. And it'll be interesting to see how I feel when I'm out in Croatia, where you're representing the whole country. It's a very different feeling now. And it's also one of those things too, where it's like, you know, if the more tricks you're trying to pull and little strategies with risk and reward, that adds to the anxiety too.
Yeah, absolutely.
And for me, I had a very simple way of just being very gentle, pacing the cigar, trying not to disturb it. It was all about keeping it calm. And for me, that helped. And, you know, I can see the limitations where, okay, if I don't have those other types of tricks in my pocket, I can understand how that's a disadvantage, but I can also see where trying to add those in now is just, it could create those situations where I feel anxious because I'm introducing risks. So I'll have to play around a bit and think about it and try to decide what I think is worth trying to bring into my strategy.
Definitely, Ryan, I'm telling you, on the end of the day, you know, this competition. Many of the guys who are a long time in the competition, they said to me, Marko, thank you for this amazing sport you invented. I don't need to do like a gym. I don't need to run like a miles. I can be fat. I can be whatever. And I can be a champion. So this is beautiful. And they said to me, Marko, you saved so many marriages because, you know, usually when you go for training for 3 hours, you said to your wife, hey, I'm going to train. And then you're not there for 3-4 hours. That's it. Beautiful.
My wife
world class athlete. Yes.
My wife encouraged my training. She says you need to get out in the garage lounge to keep training because you got to get better and better. So
absolutely.
She's an enabler.
Yeah, absolutely. By the way, you know, one of my friends, he said he won the watch, and he said to me, look, my son is in athletics for, I don't know, 5-6 years. And every time when he win this like a fake gold medal. And like they said to him, like, yeah, good boy, you are the best. And I go in the slow smoking competition. I smoke cigar. I don't need to do like a crazy sweating on the trainings. And then I get the watch, which is like a 3,000-4,000 euros. So it's better to be slow smoker than really running.
I got to take a quick break here to announce some sponsors of today's show. And when we come back to the conversation, I want to talk about rules and evolution of rules and judges and how that all works. So let me quick talk about our sponsors. So today's show is proudly brought to you by Tarazona Cigars. Tarazona Cigars, they do it with passion. They're passionate about the cigars they make, and every premium long leaf handmade cigars are each rolled to the highest quality by masterful rollers. Tarazona takes pride in the quality and craftsmanship of every cigar that goes into every box of Tarazona and Carabella cigars. The company's goal is for you to enjoy a fine cigar with good friends for all your momentous occasions, or just kick back and enjoy a perfect day. So next time you want to smoke a fine cigar, do it with passion and reach for Tarazona. You can check them out at www.tarazonacigars.com and on Facebook and Instagram. Today's show is also brought to you by Platinum Nova Cigars. Platinum Nova Cigars is a family-owned and operated premium cigar company. Only the highest vintage tobacco and the most skilled hand workmanship go into the making of each Platinum Nova cigar, resulting in a timeless blend of art and craftsmanship. The Nova brand and the family's work are a tribute and an honor to their grandfather, to always remember him and his infinite passion for the finest cigars. Their love of cigars started with their grandfather, a dedicated master blender and entrepreneur in the cigar industry. The next time you're looking for an exquisite cigar experience, pick up a Platinum Nova. You can check them out at Platinum Nova Cigars at www.novacigar.com and on Facebook and Instagram and Twitter. And while we continue to have them as a sponsor, if you go to their site and use this code Boston Jimmie 15, Jimmie with an IE, you'll get 15% off your purchase. Lastly, today's show is brought to you by La Jolla del Chan. La Jolla del Chan, welcome to a dream come true. Husband and wife Gabby El Chan and Liz want all the hands that work the tobacco leaf in their home country of Puerto Rico to have the same opportunity to expose their products. They call it La Jolla del Chan because they cultivate part of their product, and at some point they want to be able to supply the world with their native tobacco leaf. The pride that Gabby and Liz feel is the same pride of all those who work the tobacco leaf, and for this, they deserve a portal that represents them. Thank you for supporting our country. We will resist, they say. Follow them at www.lajolladelchan.com and El Chan Cigars on Instagram and Facebook. I want to thank my sponsors, for without them, the show is always a little harder to do. Let's get back to the show. All right. So there are a whole list of rules, very transparent. Everybody's able to get rules before the event. Have those rules evolved over the last 11 years? And have they evolved more specifically over the last few years as it became more intense in the discussion you just had?
Yeah, the Jimmie, that is correct. So the let's say some maybe 10% we add or a little bit change. I will not say change, I will say more add. That was the problem with these devices, because people was start to use some additional kind of help on the side, and after some thinking we said, okay, this is smoking. We need we expect from competitor to have that stick in the hand and just to try to push it on the standard way of the smoking, of course standard way of the smoking is more like with some tricks, but definitely not by using something additionally like equipment. And this is that rule that is written, that on the table is not allowed to have anything else which is not provided by organizer. And that was particularly in that particular rule came because people was using iPhones. They was putting the flashlights to try to track the smoke, to see the fire, and then we said, okay, no more that kind of a thing. And then they came with the watches. They bought the iPhone watches to use like mirrors, and then we said, okay, we cannot do it. Stop, no watches, no nothing. You need to smoke normally, and that's it. And then the other rule that we also on the CSWCnews.com, we was putting this as one of the last articles, was a burning line. So many people when they have a stick in the hands, they like to touch the cigar on the point where is the burning, where cigar is practically having the fire to feel the heat. Yeah, which is up. But also in some moments, especially when they come next to the ring, because now you are already experienced. When you make a puff and if your fire is going up on the wrapper and you are next to the ring, you are risking to burn the ring again 15 penalty minutes. So they were using the fingers to stop the fire on the burning line, just to protect the ring not to be burned. And also,
So they were holding it like this.
Yes, they was just pushing. Just imagine cigar, and they pushing to.
Oh, they
stop.
push it, so they push it behind the ring.
Yes. So they want to stop the fire to be sure that the ring will not be burned, and also they use the finger to clean the ash to provide more oxygen. And then we said, okay, you are not allowed to manipulate with cigar. By manipulation, we means everything what the judge in a particular situation will consider that is outside of the fair play game.
Hold on a second. I got an important announcement. I'm sorry.
Please.
We have a very special guest that wants to join us. We all know him as Nick Perretta. This man right
Oh,
here is the U.S. national record holder for this season, unable to make it. Welcome, Nick, to the show. We'll
Boston
continue
Jimmie,
our
what's up?
conversation, and we'll come back to you and discuss some of your achievements.
I
So we
just
were
want
just
to
talking about rules, so this is a good time to listen in.
I just, sorry, Jimmy, I just want to say, Nick, congratulations from all my heart for a great result. Very proud on you and great achievement. And so
Thank you.
happy to meet you not in a live, like a physically, but at least this virtually way. And really great performance. You was amazing.
Well, thank you very much.
Yeah, Nick, great
Thank
job.
you.
We definitely all
it
missed
was
you
fun.
out in
It was
Pittsburgh.
very fun.
So yes, please.
Yeah, I really wanted to be there, guys, but
I heard that your plane was your flight was canceled.
yeah.
Oh, really,
So,
really bad.
It was one of those things that as I wanted to go, I had everything set up on the night before, and I wake up to an email saying if I wanted to rebook, and the thing was I could have rebooked, but just with that short of notice, price just skyrocketed. I'm like, no,
Yeah,
I'm like,
yeah.
I'm like, no, I'm like,
Next
it's not
chance,
worth that this time.
Look, the Ryan
You know
just
what?
get
Next
married.
year.
Yes, and his wife was want to have a honeymoon. So that's it. So you did amazing job for the married man.
We
There
all
you go.
did.
Yeah,
So continue with the rules. So the rules we were just talking, Nick, before you joined, about how some of the rules had changed. Like some people were actually holding their cigar when it got down towards the ring, right above it, and kind of just gently pushing the edge of the cigar in so it wouldn't burn the ring. That was like a trick, but they've now got the judges watching.
Yeah, so we practically, we as a judge association, especially Natasha and Maria, they are the head judges. They made the final decision. They say, okay, no more touching the line. Yeah, because also, sometime when you, especially in the let's say beginning or in the middle, when cigars start to do like a huge canoeing, like going on the edge, people don't like that. And then they was also using the fingers to try to correct the fire. And it's not correct. You just need to have a normal. We want that the competitors have the control on the cigar only with the smoking, only by a puffing, not by using the fingers or some additional tools or equipment. You have cigar, use the puff, and that's it.
So how do you stop? So one of the things I've thought about and how people might get there, and maybe they do, maybe they don't, but we talked about this in Pittsburgh a little bit on the side. So you're not allowed to have anything to drink and you can't talk for the first 5 minutes.
Yeah.
But now I go get a drink. So I get a cold beer or a cold mixed drink.
Yeah.
Right. Now that drink is sweating on the outside. So if I come over and let's just say this is the drink and I pick my drink up, right? And I drink it.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
My fingers are wet.
Yes. Yes.
So I'm smoking a cigar. Right.
Yeah.
And then I go like this.
Yeah.
I put it back in my mouth. How do you? Are you watching for that?
Yes. The judges. This is because there is one rule also which is telling is not allowed to make cigar wet. So that means you cannot use your air. So definitely the judges are controlling in that part. And if they have like a really cold drink or something like that, the judges always have with themselves. I don't know if this was in United States because the judges in United States, they are rookies and they also need to get experience, but they have like a towel or something, and they need to clean the hands because this can also help a lot. And especially when we are speaking, okay, in the beginning of cigar, first third or second, or in the middle or second third, but the last third, when you come next to the ring, making the fingers wet and leaving the water mark and on the wrapper next to the ring, this can really help for the competitor to protect the ring from the burn.
Now, when it comes to judging, how does someone become a judge?
So yes, we look before that was, For me was I'm 15 years in marriage, man. I look maybe young, but I'm not young. I am, 15 years in a marriage is like I feel like I'm 100 years old. Just kidding. But I hope my wife is not watching this. So the thing is that I was really traveling all over, and in the beginning, it was really necessary that me as a person who invented this game to try to bring experience and to try to give this from the first hand to the people. And this is how this all started. But Jimmie, it went after 2015. This thing started to get crazy. I start to get called from all over the world. People wants to have events. And in 2019, I was facing the problem that I cannot be traveling on so many places in the world, like 40 countries, and then the problem with the dates and everything. I was exhausted because, it is a lot of traveling, and then you smoke with the guys, drink with the guys. And it's just like really, really hard, which is great. I love to drink and smoke with the guys or the girls, of course. But, the rhythm is really, and in the same time, I'm not selling the product. I am providing experience. So that means you always need to be fresh. You always need to be on the level and try that people get experience. And people start to say to me, Marko, you cannot do this anymore by yourself. Even I have my team, CSWC team in the headquarters in the Split, which is about 6 to 7 people, and we organize the championship, and they are doing the different jobs for organization. But the judging was done mostly by me traveling around. And we came to the point where I saw that we will not be able to maintain this way of the approach. And I came with the idea of the judge association even before COVID came. But then COVID came, and it was practically supporting this idea of the judge association. And with the Natasha Krešević and Maria Marovic, who are now the head judges, and I completely move out from the judge association. I'm just normal judge as other judges. They are now decision makers in this association. We established a separate organization from the CSWC, which is called CSWC Judge International Association, and we recruit all these judges around the world. Let's say 80% of them was already have experience with as a participants, and practically we established the training program. So people apply, they do registration, they go through the seminars over Zoom. We send them the materials like scripts, everything what they need to have to learn. And also we have one Zoom seminar where they have the direct communication with the main judges. So they can ask them whatever they are not clear. And then they have some period of the time to examine more, to learn more, and then they have the final test on the Zoom. And if they pass, they get the official certificate from the CSWC judge organization. We send to them official shirt, official pin. And we are now like a really serious organization where we have a plan also on the yearly base to do just for the judges, the gatherings, the meetings, and all what we as a cigar lovers like to do. And this is smoke cigars and be together.
Very nice. So Nick, do you have any tips, tricks, or hacks for our national champion here?
Yeah, I don't know if, I was going to say, I don't know if I can give away all my secrets, but you know what, Ryan, you are where you are. Congratulations on that. So I might as well share a little bit of love. So one of the things I always look at, obviously we all look at the burn line. We look at the cherry when it disappears. But once that cherry disappears, look at the smoke coming up. And if anyone's wearing, a pair of black slacks in front of you, black shirt or black wool, put it right in front and start watching that smoke. As soon as that smoke dissipates, take another puff just to make it glow again. And you'll notice that, at the beginning on the first third, it's about the rule, a minute a puff. But once you start getting down, you can go 2-3 minutes between your puffs, because the cigar is burning a lot hotter. So, you can go much further as you get further down the cigar. And that kept it where, there was for a while, I was actually zoning out on my cigar and like, oh yeah, I got a cigar to smoke. And it was still lit because by the end, on my time, I actually stopped right at the band and I went to take one more puff and it was out, but that was when they called the time, like, hey, I'll take it. So that was the big trick that I used. is that as I was watching my cigar, I mean, you know, they're like the pictures on the website, you'll see me, I'm just staring at my cigar because that's all I'm watching is the smoke coming up. You know,
Exact
I'm
same.
ignoring everything else.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that is
and
very
that-
important.
Yep. No, and that was
Right.
one of the things I think for me, like that was the main focus because, you know, you could see like some of the rooms are in a little dark and you'll see the burn line, but sometimes you can't. And for me, it was just watching that smoke output, keeping my mind on the clock and my pace and how long I'm stretching it. For me, I waited a lot long between puffs than you, Nick, but I just took a much slower, longer puff to really get that entire ember spread. And hearing you now, I can see where there might be some ways to actually puff more often, but less of a full, less of a full draw. So that's something I think I'll want to look into as well.
And the black shirt or black clothing aspect. One of the things with me is I do all my practicing here in my cigar lounge in my garage, and my ceiling is white, right? And when I went to my local event at Executive Cigar Lounge here in Melbourne, Florida, I was like this, and I'm like, oh man, it's a flat black ceiling, and I'm looking at it, and I'm like, I'm seeing so much more smoke.
Yeah.
And I was like, this is such a help. And it added, because I was averaging an hour 45, and I went into that event and I did 2 hours and 1 or whatever it was, just below you. Damn it.
It was almost like just a minute. It was crazy.
But it was all about being able to see that smoke on a black background, you know? So wear a black shirt, if nothing else.
By the way, what I want to say is what Nick was saying, and I really, Nick, you know, you get the point there, because what is the mainly reason why the people going out so early? The biggest mistake, what they do, they start to smoke cigar, so they track the smoke, but you know they want to go, they are already want to go slow from the beginning, you know, and they are just focused. Okay, I will make some small puffs, and that's it, and they have a smoke, they track the smoke, but their puffs are weak, and is that the fire is not going out, it's just going inside of the cigar with the filler, and the smoke what they get, which is coming out from their cigar, is practically smoke only provided by burning filler, but the wrapper and the binder is not lighted up, and this filler is just going in, and at one point is staying out of oxygen. And you know, when they make a puff, so in a 1 second they have a smoke, and they make a gentle puff, they go to do another, cigar is off, and then they are like in a shock. Why? Because they don't push that fire to go out.
Right.
If you don't have a fire out, it's going tunneling, and then it's just a matter of question. But that when this filler will stay out of the oxygen and go off.
Well, and that's the other thing too, where, you know, Jimmie and I were talking a few days ago, and I think a lot of people forget that your first minute of toasting and lighting with the matches. So some people, from what I heard, like to use the one match and have one as backup. But I mean, I'm a 2 match at a time person. Get a nice wide flame, cover the foot, get a nice even toast, and then when you're pulling, so I mean, I just stepped down from my position as a tobacconist at our local lounge. But when I'm doing it, you know, when I'm lighting a nub, I use a soft flame, and I tell them pull the flame in, because that Ligero is what you really need to catch fire and to pull that heat down. Because in one of the pictures on the CSWC website, it's Hamlet giving the winner advice, and what he was telling me at the beginning, he's like, bro, don't puff too fast. I'm like, no, that first few puffs, like about that much, I'm trying to pull that flame in so my puffs later on can be slower. I'm trying to keep that whole barrel at least warm at most, so that Ligero is burning.
Yes, that is really good. And you know, you will see with the training, guys, this is what I said, the trainings are really important. Like I remember when Oleg the Russian the guy who was 2 times the world champion, I was asked, he's an amazing guy, really good guy. And I asked him, like, how you can control on that the end, how you can control and fix that cigar and go up for it. And he said, look, Marko, I came to the point that I know by the taste which part of the cigar inside is burning. And he know by the taste, he don't need any more to use like because some people use this part of the hand, because here the skin is really gentle. So if you bring the foot, burning foot near this part of your hand, you really can easily feel how much is the heat in that cigar. And he said, I don't need any more to think about the heat. I said, by taste, I know exactly how much I need to puff, if I need to burn more, or is going in or will go out. Yes, and this is beauty, you know, because when I was starting with this competition, I never knew, I was not able to imagine that people will bring this to such a perfection through the trainings and everything, that they will push the one small Mareva size cigar, which was from 2010 to 2015. The world record was from 1 hour 30 minutes, 34 minutes came to 1 hour 57 minutes. And then from 2015 to 2019, the world record came from 1 hour 57 to 3 hours 52. It was just unbelievable. It's beautiful. And
That's insane.
yeah, it's insane. It's really insane, and it's really beautiful to look these guys how they do. And they also was like, you know, in the beginning, they were smoking 1 hour 40, 1 hour 30, and then you saw their progress. They start to train and better and better and better and better, and they are now really the best. So
Now, Fred Ruiz, he was doing something which was interesting during it.
yeah,
You talk about the soft spot
yes,
here.
yeah,
He was
yeah.
holding a cigar right here because you can
Yes.
feel the heat right on your cheek of your face. You know if it's
Yes.
burning hot or not.
Yes,
So
that is
there's-
true. There is one Russian guy also keeping cigar very near, also here the eye. I said to
There.
him, look, hey
Oof.
man, I don't want you to lose the eye, man. Okay, take it easy, man. So we need you to look nice, not without one eye. So you know, it was it's different tactics, but I'm sorry that I don't have the one pictures here. I will try for the next time, and I will post on a CSWC Facebook page, and then you can share it. One of the most impressive thing was this guy. One guy also. Russians are really good in this competition, and there was one guy who was making the tunneling. So it was so crazy situation. So he is from all these big guys, he's the closest to the ring, and the other guys have like 2 centimeters of cigar still to smoke, and he's going under the ring and smoking under the ring. And you see the guy who was in advantage 2 centimeters out, the guy who was 1 centimeter out, and he managed on the end to be a Russian champion. But he make a hole, you know, when you can. He smoked it until the point where you practically put your lips, and it was a completely whole, like a pipe. I was not able to believe that he was smoking 1 hour and 15 minutes below the ring.
So
Wow.
you got your work cut out for you, Ryan.
Right.
How
I'm
many
currently-
cigars?
I'm currently working on my below the ring technique.
Bravo.
Okay,
Bravo,
good,
Nice.
good.
So we'll see. I'm gonna try to learn
Yeah.
that in the next week.
Ryan, you know how they do, what I saw. I don't know.
Yeah.
You need to try, but they changed the way of puffing. So not the way, the frequency of the puffing. So they start to do more puffs, but very gentle, almost like a kissing cigar, like so small, and then cigar is not having enough power to go out, but have enough oxygen just to go in. And when they make this slow and frequent puff, they just control a little bit to have this smoke out of their mouth, and then after a few minutes, they are sure that cigar is already going in, and then they just continue to smoke, not with the big puffs, because they don't want that the fire is going out again and burn the ring. But this is the way how you can make the tunneling.
So how
No,
many
nice.
cigars do you have between now and and Croatia, Ryan, to smoke through? Are you doing one a day now?
Well, I got 5 left, but the lounge here at Buffalo Cigars, we got about 10 boxes, if not more. So
Yeah.
I think I've got some reserves.
Try a little bit. Try. Yeah, train. By the way, also the one big surprise for the next year, for the next season, we prepare something which will be called chasing of the time. So that means we will have the top 20 list, but I will come to you more into the details. So we will have the national champions, let's say like champion of United States and all the other countries. And then from the people who are left on the top 20 list, they will be also able to participate on the grand finale. And we will have this like a chasing time events where you can, even if you are on the top 20 and you lose your position for top 20 because someone is putting you out, you can go on some of the smaller events where, of course, you will need to have official judge, because without official judge, we will not consider this official time. And then you will be able again to put yourself on the top 20 list. Because, of course, most of the champions, most of the national champions will be on the top 20 list, like you are, Ryan, already on the top 20 list. But we also want to give more opportunity to the people to be active during the season, because some of the competitors, like a former champion of Norway from 2019, he said, Marko, my only problem is that I have only one, you provide me only once in the year time to compete, and I want this more excitement. And it was my bad day and I lost, and at least give me chance with a top 20 list or something to place myself and have the second chance. So we are thinking about that. I don't know what you think, guys, but I will definitely ask you a little bit for your opinion.
Yeah, especially in America, like we had 15, I think, regional qualifiers.
13.
And total?
Yeah, it was
Okay.
13 lounges.
Okay,
There was
13
originally
rounds.
15, but it ended up being 13. And I have a
13,
question
yeah.
about that, but go ahead, Ryan.
Yeah, and it's just, there are so many cigar smokers who just aren't within distance of those lounges, where for them to be able to kind of get their foot in the ring too,
Yeah.
and even have that way to be able to show like, no, this was my time, this is what I did. It gives them that opportunity then to say, you know what, I am going to make it to this official event.
Yeah.
And I am going to put my actual hat in the ring for the authenticated time with the judges and everything, and really get more involved.
Yeah.
Whereas if you're not right down the road from where the qualifier is happening, it just might not be something you think about.
That's it. Now, Marko, were you surprised being, now that we've expanded this broader in the United States, so this is the largest we've had, were you surprised that we had 4 top 20 places?
What? Sorry, that
Were you surprised that the United States had 4 in the top 20?
Yes, definitely. I'm surprised. I'm surprised because I didn't expect this, and we are almost by the end of the season. We have only 3, I think, more qualification events, and the 4 flags, 4 US names on the top 20 list is amazing achievement, guys. And this is just, I'm telling you, this is just the first year that this came really seriously, and in the United States. And this is why I have a huge believing that US will be one of the strongest country, definitely, in this challenge, and not in this meaning, not just about Darren Chaffee, who is a really great smoker, but I think the new names, and US will be one of the hottest places, because for the next year we also will make a special top 20 list of the season just for United States.
Now, how does so we had 13 originally, looking at 15, we ended up with 13 lounges in the United States. Does a lounge have to carry Rocky Patel to be part of this, or can they just get these cigars and participate? What are the rules on that?
Yes, look, so for me, the Rocky is my main partner, and of course that sometime I need to look in the interest of my main partner, who is producer of cigar, but definitely on the end, CSWC is decision maker about the season, and that means that also the Rocky Patel will need to adjust to our rules, and one of the rules will be that not only the lounges which will have the Rocky Patel will be involved in this. We want each serious cigar lounge, who not serious in the meaning that should be big or this or that, but people who are the members or people who are coming there and they want to make a nice event, even if they are not Rocky Patel suppliers. We as a CSWC, I think there is no fair to make a difference. I think that everybody who wants to organize this and compete, our main sponsor should provide cigars. This is like in Formula One. Look, Rolex is one of the main sponsors, but on the end, Formula One is the decision maker.
Yeah, because I think it would be really awesome now that we've breached the whole contest here in the United States. And I talked to a number of people leading up to this, and they had no clue. They were clueless. Yeah, and I've known about it for years, but I was happy it would happen at my lounge. it would be really great if we have more cigar enthusiasts involved in this. There are so many great lounges around this country that can have this competition, and to put forth a huge field to say who is really the national champion next year would be like fantastic. I'd love to see that Burn Lounge filled not with like 13 competitors, but like 50 competitors, right? That are like,
no, I agree. I agree. And Jimmie, I 100% agree with you, and practically thank you for this kind of the feelings. And I think, as I told you, I think is fair that we bring this experience to each place in the United States where the people, smokers, want to have this experience, and more places will be involved, better for everybody.
I agree. So we're coming upon the hour. Usually what I do here is go through what's new in news and reviews and Stogie Press. I'm not going to spend a lot of time on that for the sake of time. And then when I come back, I do a fast little lightning round, and then we're going to close it out. So real quick, news and reviews on Stogie Press. Because I was out for 2 weeks, we had a bunch of news articles. I'm not going to get into the details of each one, but I'll just brief them. So Protocol Cigars announced this new Battleborn cigar, and they have all these appliques on here. So it's all like camouflage looking cigar. This is a very cool looking cigar. So that's a new offering from Protocol Cigars. Frontier Cigars has expanded with cigarillos and XLs. This is flavor-based. They got a lot of flavor-based cigars, but they've moved further into that market. Drew Estate announced the Goodwill Act of 2021. As you know, Drew Estate canceled all their events, their Barn Smoker and their DE25 events. So anybody who purchased those tickets got refunded their money, but they are also sending out all the swag to these people free of charge. So they are all getting swag if they signed up for those events. Drew Estate also released a new subculture size Acid Continental as a smoker friendly as a shop. During the Rocky Mountain Cigar Festival, so they released a new Acid Continental. And Espinosa has followed suit with Rocky Patel. Espinosa is once again doing their Lazona Palooza this year, which is a gathering of all Espinosa fans down in South Miami. They are doing it virtual again this year. So it'll be the second year because of the pandemic issues we're having. La Jolla de Nicaragua launched their TAA retailer exclusive Cuatro Cinco Edición Americana. So look forward to this cigar. I'm really looking forward to that one. And then industry veteran Todd Vance, many of us know Todd. Todd has now been brought in as part of the Limitless Cigar Company, which is a cannabinoid infused premium cigar company. So they're not doing CBD, they're doing CBG and CBN, which are different cannabinoids. They give you different relaxing experiences. So I think this is an area of the market that's going to continue to expand unless somebody passes laws against it. And lastly, McAuliffe released the McAuliffe A Gordo. So last year, if you remember, they released what was called the McAuliffe A, which was their the McAuliffe ambassador team decided the name of the cigar. It was a big, long cigar. This time, they came out with the Gordo. So that's the news. As far as reviews go, I did 3 reviews, and the 3 reviews we did were Stallone Nicaragua cigars. They came out with this new one called the Pony. It's kind of a short, thick Robusto. This one came in the 93. The Cigar Clowns from New York, they're the ones that keep coming up with these interesting one-drop cigars, looking for rare things in aging rooms and such throughout the world. This one was called the Jack in the Box. This one came in, unfortunately, in 88. Not so much on the flavor, but I just had a bunch of burn problems with it, and it is what it is. And this cigar here is a new cigar company called ATL. ATL stands for Atlanta. cigar company. This is their Libertad. They have 3 offerings. This is one of them. This is a very pleasant cigar. It wasn't overly complex, but it had really nice flavors coming through. The burn was fairly decent. So I came in with this. This one came in at a 90. And lastly, I did do a lounge review when I was up in Pittsburgh. So we got to visit the smokestack on Sunday before I left. So the smokestack is located in Coropolis, Pennsylvania, right outside the airport. Very cool, very, very cool lounge to go into. It's very rustic looking. But what's cool about this lounge is there's no humidor. Everything is cabinets. But the cabinets aren't like placed evenly along the walls. So everywhere you turn, there's another cabinet. And you're like, oh, crap, I didn't see this one. Oh, crap, I didn't see that one. So I really enjoyed my time there. They're very friendly people. So if you're back in the Pittsburgh area and you got a chance, stop in and see the smokestack in Coropolis. So those are the news and reviews on Stogie Press this week. Let me stop sharing. So I'm not going to make a long lightning round. I'm going to keep it to the one simple question for the sake of time. Those that know the show know what's coming. I'm going to start with Marko, and then we'll go to Ryan and Nick. You guys get the advantage of thinking about it. But Marko, same question everybody else is going to get. Simple answer, no context involved. Skirts or pantsuits?
Skirts.
Ryan.
I'm sorry, I was distracted for a sec. What was that?
Skirts or pantsuits?
Skirts.
Nick.
Pantsuits.
Pantsuits. You're with me. Okay, so you're in a minority. And I always feel, I have to say this all the time, I always feel that a woman that can rock a pantsuit can rock a skirt, not necessarily the other way around in my mind.
True.
They're very confident.
I can respect
Exactly.
that. I can respect that, yeah.
That is true.
So that's it. I'll give the last word.
I thought you were talking about our own personal preference, so.
Well, it is your personal. Well, yeah. If you like skirts, if you like wearing a kilt, it's okay. I'm all right with that. Nick, we'll go last word. We'll start with you, Nick. Last word.
I mean, I don't really have much to say. I mean, I appreciate you having me on the show. I got to hit the road soon to the East Coast, but I appreciate you having me on here. Marko, thank you very much with the CSWC. It was a blast. I look forward to doing it again.
Thank you, Nick. Thank you so much.
So
man.
Nick is
Ryan,
still
Congratulations again. Both
Nick is
winning
still the
and
current,
getting ready.
still the reigning record holder for this season here in the United States. So we bow to you even for your record. Ryan, national champion, going to Croatia with your wife. Last word.
I just want to say a few thanks to people. I want to thank my wife for the love and support she's given me. Honestly, it makes this a whole trip worth it. And she's just, makes it all worth all the effort. I want to thank the owners of the lounge here, Buffalo Cigars, Paul Usanio and Glenn Smith, as well as Rocky Patel, who are making this trip possible. I owe them all the gratitude for coming together and finding a way to make this happen. And I want to thank my dear friends at Simply Stogie's Club and Keepers of the Flame, who I wouldn't be smoking cigars right now if it weren't for those people and those communities that gave me the passion and created that friendship and that bond around cigars that really led me to what I am today, what I do. It's just such a big part of my life, and I owe it to them. And thank you to Marko for running this event. And I cannot wait to meet you and enjoy time with you. And thank you to Jimmie for being a very kind person, a gracious competitor, and just a good person, a good human being. Thank you.
And I'll just point out one thing about your wife. So when we were down to the wire, right down to the edge, there's a lot of screaming. Ryan had an amazing cheer section, his wife especially. And when it was over, she came over to me. She was in tears, happy tears, giving me the biggest loving hug because I lost. and then I learned that they just got married, and this is like a second honeymoon for them. And I said, if you
Wow.
told me that beforehand, I probably would have just put my hands up at the end and said, you're going. I mean, come on. I mean,
Beautiful.
what better
Beautiful.
gift?
Beautiful.
Marko, last word.
So I will tell you something, guys. Nick, Ryan, Jimmie, you know, all what you said, all your emotions are the biggest gift for me. Because, you know, I love people. And this is why I love cigars. This is why really, really doing all of this, because the beauty of this CSWC is exactly what is happening tonight on your show, Jimmie. We became a new friend. We became a family. And this is priceless. And thank you for making this your support with the competition, to trust in this competition, to be a part of it. And thank you for Jimmie, for making this opportunity that we can send the message to the smokers in the United States. And I just can wait to give you personally hug to each of you. And Ryan, I'm waiting for you with a special Croatian grappa on the airport. And that's it, baby. We will start. And of course, the sherry brandy for the wife, and me and you grappa. That's it. Be ready for some serious drinking, not just smoking.
So there you go. So I want to thank
Marko, I can't wait
everybody.
to meet you.
I want to thank everybody for joining the show. All of those who have been watching and those that may be watching this afterwards, thank you very much. This is a fantastic experience. I think everybody here can attest to the fun we had in doing this. Every cigar
Indeed.
enthusiast, if you really want to have fun, this is it. Long ash contests are great, but this contest sets a new bar for everybody to really learn about a cigar. And by the way, slow smoking a cigar, slow your burning,
Yep.
get more flavor. All right. And with that, I'll also just note that. So thank you everybody again. I enjoyed the time. I'm